Hello, my lovelies. I hope that you're all safe and well. I'm just coming on to do the Facebook card reveals for you all. Sorry, my phone seems like it's at a bit of a weird angle. I'm sort of trying to balance it on some stuff and it's a bit weird. But hopefully you can see me, you can hear me okay. And yeah, let's have a little look and see. So as we're going into card one, we're going into the energy of the lovers. So lovers is always interesting when it shows. This is about self-love, this is about self-care, and then allowing that ripple effect to sort of happen and to be created around others once you're giving your sort of self that self-worth, that self-recognition. Now, sometimes with the lovers card as well, it could be that if you are in a relationship, there could be a need to communicate a little bit more. It could feel at times like maybe there's a little bit of a wedge, maybe there's a little bit of a mountain between you and a partner recently, and maybe conversations have been quite difficult to have, or maybe things don't feel completely reachable or connectable at the moment. So there's a need for a little bit of repair work here. If you're somebody that is actually on your own, it could be one of two things. Because we've got the snake to the side, it could be that you're going through a little bit of a healing journey. So it could be that maybe there was a bit of a disconnection and maybe you've had to heal and have some time out from the world. And maybe you've had to just really sort of become aware of whatever you perhaps went through with somebody. So it could be a little bit of a healing journey where you're needing again to invest back into you, that self-love, that self-care. But the other side of this is if you're single, maybe also there is an opportunity to receive love. So it could be for some of you that are single, potentially a new offering is going to kind of come your way, and be open, be ready to sort of receive it. You know, sometimes the best people come into our life when we're not actually looking for them. So don't go sort of hunting them down or anything. Focus on yourself and other areas that you're sort of investing in, but be open and be welcome to receive the energy of love, because we all deserve to experience that. So this is always a bit of a tricky card, because depending on where it sits for you personally determines what's happening. But for me, usually it's all about self-care, self-love, self-investment. How can you ever love somebody else if you can't love yourself first? So there's an energy of that kind of coming in. That comes in quite strong actually with this. If you can hear any noises behind me, I've got little Oscar doing something random on the floor. I won't tell you what he's doing, but it's not the prettiest thing. Bloody animals. Okay. So going to leave that one with you. I hope that resonates and makes sense. Let's move forward. If you've been drawn to card 2, we're going into the energy of the Magician. The Magician is a time to harness your independent wealth, your independent magic. The sky is the limit. Everything is kind of accessible. Everything is within reach. And basically what's lovely with the Magician is there are endless opportunities of success. It's being brave enough to give yourself permission to receive something of higher calling, of higher quality, of higher value, and travel into that space. The Magician creates his own destiny. He doesn't wait for somebody to come and save him. He could be waiting eternity for that. He cracks on, he does his thing, and he does it to the best of his capabilities. And on the table or the altar, there's balance here. There's the cup, the emotions, there's the pentacle, the monetary wealth, there's the sword, the protection and boundaries, and there's the wand, the magic, the sort of practical changes he has to go through to harness and live his best life. So whatever you're wanting to be part of, whatever you're wanting to bring into your physical reality, go out there, aim for it, reach it, invest it, you know, bring it forward. It can happen, it can manifest. It's all about permission. Very often, you know, as people, we get held back by our own inner fears, our own anxieties, and sometimes projections of the outside world. But the Magician knows that there are endless opportunities of success available once we completely give ourselves that permission and that realization that we can turn our hand to anything we want. We can be part of any experience we choose to be. It's just how invested are we? Sometimes people are quite lazy and they don't always want to actually move outside of a comfort zone or, you know, get to a more rewarding or fulfilling place. And this is about giving yourself permission to go, to travel there, and to own it, to harness it for the best of your capabilities. So get out there and shine where that's concerned. And finally, if you've been drawn to card 3, we're going into the energy of the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, when the Knights show in tarot, predominantly they want to come in to protect, to honour and to defend. So some of you maybe are having to put some boundaries in place at the moment. I think what's important to remember with the Knight of Swords, sometimes there can be a little bit of haste, sometimes there can be a little bit of speed, sometimes we can unintentionally go in a little bit guns blazing. So be very cautious, be very careful as you're drawn to this. Obviously put your spiritual protection in place. If there are things that you need to disconnect from, make those disconnections, but once they're made, try not to allow them to reattach, because otherwise it becomes a pointless exercise, a pointless routine. But sometimes with this, what we also have going on a little bit is sometimes this knight goes in, doesn't always know all the facts, goes in a little bit charging, is a little bit reactive. So if you've felt a little bit reactive in recent times, it's almost just holding the space of energy before you make a decision, before you respond in one way or the other, to make sure that you're making the proper changes that work for you, and don't cut things off too quickly. Disconnect and sort of remove if they're not serving your highest good, but also don't be too quick to disconnect or too sort of, you know, guarded a little bit, because sometimes that can happen. So I hope you can make sense of this. An interesting set of cards this week. So going to leave them with you. Stay safe, stay well, stay fabulous, and I will catch up with some of you lovelies very soon. Love and blessings. Bye for now.